I stand up, I get up, mapedu moya shona kona. Ahubuluza shobuluza focus, come on, be a go-getter. Ashona kona, ashona kona, ashona kona, ashona kona, stay focused. Opportunities, you gotta get this, you gotta fight your skills.
Get your son when I left my car, and a salute to all my hustlers. Who am I? I'm that Mebulele Shumo, and what is this? It's that iSpani bafethu. Let's push up on the hustle. Push up my briefcase. Namatai. Get namhlanje singaphethe ukuthi bacabanga ngokudla ngiyocabanga about maths and science and technology, which means Einstein could have been a good cook. Kodwa namhlanje ke asambi no Einstein bafethu siphethe hustle lethu uHilda Mabunga, intokazi esanda graduate njenge food technologist. Esikhombisa ukuthi kahle kahle ama subject awumathathu angena kanjani ke ekwenzeni ama product okudla amasha. So lentokazi intswem nge-maths. What the why if food technology iyohlala phansi isichazele ukuthi kungani ke ngithi mina sengichazile because you know what they say, food is a way to a man's heart. So I'm happy. Name Hilda Mabunga. Age 22. Education matric. Teacher qualification National Diploma in Food Technology. Former work experience none. Position applied for food technologist development.
Matomoni ndandikotoita geology, then I would like to apply late ne. Then okay ratuara like for application. Ndawana kazi science 3 months at food technology. Then my brother I encourage to choose food technology. Another plan was to change, like whatever I wanted to do.
Zwabo mtutuwedza na nenda ndichimueletshedza chifhinga chinji zori Hilda khafutelele chikolo ngauri muna wo thoma khaye ndi pfunzo. Asongo fela manda nga ubona nesamane wawo ngori chifhinga chone ndovha ndisi muthu ene atoshuma musi akhwaluwa. Asongo fela manda musachibona rine roya chikolo ndisitwana mushumo ngauri huna zvirafara zvine chifhinga chimwe na chimwe ringafeledza rowana mushumo.
But then, as I continue with my studies, it was a surprise. It was chemistry, microbiology. It was all those deep science things. But then, because I did science at school, I had a deeper understanding of what was going on. Then I did it. Then I went with the flow. It was fun, exciting, and all that, yeah. Nendi mukororo wa Mabunga. Ka side la Kutanga, then rina shangu line la fia Mabunga mara atungo urera one, but ndune abana mashaka shumanji aningi ya Mabunga. Kamwa wa 1996 rapuluchera makwani rabarichidzurana bokutsimuruanga Mufulo South obo family house ange, then babibi banga bamuvera Freedom Park next to Eldorado Park. Then Natoma Chikoro Deep Kloof, Zone 2 Mangwede Primary School, and I joined from grade 1 up until grade 7. Then nga 2006 Natoma Secondary Yanga Progress High School Pinville Zone 4, and matriculator on Ndichikoro Nindoita Maths and Physics and Life Sciences. I was in a science stream. Then Nandichifuna maths, but on a later stage, grade 11, when I start like what is it all about? Then Nandichim sport, Nandisimutu ane like Najanera Kazo sport, but Nandi Patia public speaking once. Then yeah. Nga 2011 ndotoma first day yanga endatanganidzwa University of Johannesburg. Then nga 2013 ndaita in service training yanga na company iremitrend yonopime comic South Africa, ndashuma as a packaging technologist for Mwamuti. Then ndabuyerera chikoroni for 6 months UJ. Then this year nga March ndagraduata.
Hilda ezwo zwi a khou ḓihula o vha muthu a sa funi u ḽa a tshi hula ri tshi lwisana naye uri a ḽe zwiḽiwa a sa funi a muthu ono funa vhurotho na vhurotho hone a tshi ḽa zwiḽa zwivhili ri tshi ḓilwa naye a ya hula ngo ralo a swikelela hone a thoma tshikolo. Hilda o vha a muthu ane a funa u dzula a tshi khou vhala o vha ṅwana ane arali tshikoloni a songo phasa zwavhuḓi u tshi mu vhudzisa Hilda o vha muthu ane ha lingulila ndi uri zwi nga kharali tshikoloni a songo phasa Hilda o vha a tshi lila a tshi vhona u nga ri vhathu a vha khou mu ṱanganedza uri zwo tou mulemela zwa zwi khou mu balela uri a zwi swikelele. O vha a tshi lila u tou fanela u dzula naye fhasi wa mu sumbedzisa uri Hilda zwi a itea vhutshiloni uri muthu ha wini tshithu tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe nga tshifhinga tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe tshithu tshiṅwe na tshiṅwe uri u tshi swikelele tshi a lemela u tou konḓelela wa vhuya wa swikelela hune hetsho tshithu tsha vha hone.
People from BRM came to the varsity, they introduced themselves, and I liked the learning platform that they told us about, that I'll get involved in projects, I'll get involved in the whole processing from receiving up until the end product. I'll get involved in everything in terms of the business that they have. So I saw that as an opportunity for me to grow as an individual. I saw BRM as a company that will groom me as my humble beginnings, where I'll get to learn everything, like in details. Ndiyafulufhela uri like ndi ḓo wana mushumo winoni. I'll give it my best. Ndi ḓo lingedza nga nḓila yoṱhe uri ndi wane. So ndi khou humbula ndi tamele mashudu avhuḓi uri ndi tshimbile zwavhuḓi.
Getting no more hunger, no more tlala. Ravatlatsi njengoba ke silaphana ke eBRM bafethu inkampani ke ephethe ama-ribs ayenzwa ekhaya aqonsisa amathe. Uyabona uHilda ke uma ngamitha ke ama-high standards abekwe le nkampani for abantu abaqashayo kwazi bani ukuthi angathola the secret recipe ngisho nomsebenzi ke awakudala kade aphupha ngawo. Ngithi simbone ukuthi uqhuba kanjani laphana ku-interview. You know they say it's rude to talk with food in your mouth. So uqhuba kanjani? Angazi.
Good morning. How are you, Hilda? My name's Seymour Talpett. I'm one of the directors here. Welcome to our company. Well, hopefully you will be joining us shortly.
Thank you.
Do you know much about our company?
Well, I investigate a little bit about your company. I'm well informed. BRM stands for barbecue rib manufacture. You basically process meat, and it is the first company that was accredited with ISO 22000.
You're really well up to all the facts. Very good. We like to believe we're one of the leaders in our particular field. As you rightfully say, processing meat and poultry products. When you say processing, fully cooking, we are a cooking plant. We're not just a cutting plant. We fully process, but everything comes out of here. So obviously you as a prospective candidate will be part of our creative team. In terms of being a food technologist, you will help the technology of food, which is obviously a field that you've chosen to go into. What are your qualifications? What are your credentials?
I am a qualified food technologist. I studied at the University of Johannesburg. I started year 2011. Then at year 2013, as part of the course, I did my in-service training with an international flavor company called McCormick. Then it was a year in service training. I was working as a food packaging technologist there. Then I went back to the campus for the last few 6 months to complete the overall qualification. Yeah, so I'm a qualified.
It's a little bit
With
different.
technologists.
Where do you see yourself in the next 5 years, next 10 years?
Recently, I want to study further, but I'll do it part-time with in Bachelor's of Science in Biochemistry and Microbiology. So I'd love to major in biochemistry and acquire more knowledge on it and microbiology. Then later on, I'd love my biggest aim in terms of my qualification. I want to have a PhD, and yes, and I want to, especially more when it comes to during my stay in this company, I'd love to implement a lot of things that maybe are not yet in place and be part of the growth of BRM brands.
Okay, well, look, we are the kind of company, we've been as around 30 years. We like to take young, enthusiastic people like yourself who've got a will to get on with life, get somewhere. We have some very good senior people here who we believe you can mentor you, and the sky's the limit. You know, it's that's exactly, you fit our profile, because you know we believe the old story, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. We believe the future is the youth. Young people is the future of this country, and it's actually very encouraging to see someone like yourself who doesn't just want the usual degree, doctor, accountant, wants something in the food industry, which obviously that's one of man's basic needs, is food, housing, food everyone needs to replenish on a daily basis. We will expect you to work very closely with your senior. You'll have tasks set for you, you'll have targets, and hopefully you'll always make those targets. Any questions you might have, further questions?
After how long is my my performance being reviewed? Like when during
we would initially, I'd say a 3-month period is a good period to sort of just start settling in.
Okay.
You can see if you're happy here, because that's the most important thing. You must have job satisfaction as well.
Okay.
And then we see if you suit the profile as well. You know, if you, and then, as I say, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you well, and you know, welcome, and let's see what 3 months' time, what great things you've done for us.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks very much. All the best.
Thank you.
Mahaslasi, research e bua ka go batlisisa ka ha company. Mo e tswang teng, di product le di services tsa bona, market wa bona le culture. Tsela e ba etsang dilo ka teng, hobane le wena o lokela go latela yona tsela eo. Hilda o buile hantle ka career plan ya hae. Ha o nagana ka career plan, o lokela go tseba mo o leng teng le mo o batlang ho ya teng. Se botlhokwa, ditsela tse o lokelang go di latela gore o fihlelle mo. Hopola gore career ya hao kapa mosebetsing wa hao ha o sebetse fela ho finyella sengwe, empa o ya e bopa wena gore o be sona selo seo. Ha re khutla re fumana ho ngata ka product development ya dijo, Hilda le yena ha kenya flavor bokamosong ba hae. Yazi bafethu abaningi bethu banokuvuka ngepapa balale ngepapa, kodwa kwakuyini umwazi ofuna ukuba yini empilweni? As long as usahlala emphandweni yonke into izoba babapha. Ngithi khona manje sami sebona ukuthi amapha amanye ama-ingredients atholakala ke kulo mkhakha lapha ku sector overview. Ngithi eat up this information like groceries.
Abasebenza ngokudla kanye nebeze science yokudla yibona basebenza ngokuqinisekisa ukuthi ukudla kwenziwa ngendlela ephephile, ngokwemthetho, futhi nangendlela eyiyona yequality abayishoyo. Baba khona uma kwenziwa ukuthuthuswa kokudla kanye neziphuzo ezithile, baphinde basebenze ekwenzeni izinongo ezikhona kanye nasekwakheni izinongo ezinsha, ukwenza ama recipes amasha kanye neminye imibono yokudla emisha. Abasebenza Abasebenza ngokudla yibona abenza ukudla okungenamafutha kanye nokudla okudleka ngokushesha. Basebenza bonke nangokuthuthukisa imikhiqizo yokudla ukwenza ukudla okusheshayo kwasekhishini. Bangasebenza ngokuqondana nokudla okufaka phakathi ukudla okufana nenyama, ukudla okunokibisi, ukudla kwaselwandle, cereal, oswidi, ama-snacks, iphuzo kanye nolunye uhlobo lokudla. Abanye abasebenza ngokudla baba khona uma kwenziwa ama-experiments ngokudla nokukhiqizwa kwama-samples, ukwakhiwa imishina leyo ezosetshenziswa uma kwakhiwa ukudla okunambitheka ngokufana, imibala nangendlela ukudla okungakhona ngamanani amaningi. Lokhu kumele kwenziwe ngokuqophelela ukwenzela lowo mkhiqizo ube yimpumelelo. Ngalesi sizathu, laba bantu kungumthwalo wabo ukuqinisekisa ukuthi zonke izinto zihamba ngokusemthethweni. Umsebenzi wabo uzofaka phakathi ukwakha ubudlelwano obusimeme kubakhiqizi bokudla kanye nama-customer, phinde baqinisekise ukuthi umkhiqizo loyo wenza imali.
Di-food technologists ba sebedisa science go boloka dijo, go bopa dijo le go tsamaisa dijo. O tlhoka senior certificate gore o kgone go ithutela diploma kapa degree. Maths le physical science di bohlokwa. Mafapha a food technology go na le food microbiology, go na le food chemistry le food engineering.
Awungeke sibala, awungeke sisam sisakhala bafethu. Sengize ngiyawonda sengivela nama-ribs. So Hilda, what's for lunch bafethu? Njoba sithi awungene ekitchen ushaye lama-ribs. Mafuna-ke ikusasa lakho libe mnandi linambitheke. Mele ushaye iSpani esigrand. Thina-ke njengama-hustlers ngithi asingene laphana sithi #iSpani go Hilda simxhase bafethu. Khona manje asamsehlwihliza siphendule inyama, answer the meat.
My name is Shadi. I studied at University of Pretoria. In 2002, I graduated with a master's degree. I did research in meat science, specifically pork. So I will say I know a bit about pork. I've been in the food industry in different positions. My first job, I worked at a snack factory in the lab, doing a lot of testing. And I moved there and I got a position as a food technologist where I did quality assurance and I also did new product development. That was in poultry abattoir and processing. So I would say that in terms of my experience, I gained lots during that time. I moved from the poultry abattoir and processing and I went on to head a lab in a milling industry. I worked there for quite some time. Moving there, I went to be a quality manager at a meat processing plant. I stayed there for just over a year. I left and I got a position as an auditor in the food industry until I joined BRM. So I'm new in this position and I'm looking forward to it. So this is our innovation center. And this is where we do product development. As you know, before we can launch any product, we go through a development phase where we have to come up with new products or improve. So this is where we do all our development. As you can see, we've got many machines that replicates what we have in production. We've got our grillers, smokers, and all of that, and the tumbler. So this is your first task. What you are expected to do today is to formulate a marinade that we're going to be using in the, one of our products. So it's important that you first go through it, be familiar with the requirements, and then through here, find them, make the marinade, test it, and then present to us. Okay, that will be your first task. Based on the formulation, you need to find the ingredients, then you need to prepare the marinade, you need to test it. Okay, so before you start, there's a protective clothing. We need to be all kitted. Okay. So that's your hairnet and your apron that you'll be using. Everything that you need to make notes on, you write in here, because at the end of this, you need to give us a brief. So you'll be presenting to myself. You'll also be presenting to the product development manager. Everything you need there, the containers to weigh in and the scale, and then we will be doing the cooking there. Okay. So if you need any questions, I'll be seated there, you can ask. Okay, good?
Okay.
Good to go. Anything you want to ask me?
No, I'll call you when I need help.
Good. Technology is a profession, it's a science discipline that uses technology to convert products from farm, we call it from farm to fork. So from where we actually get produce to when we get food on the plate. So it basically uses the principles of food science to convert the science into technology, to either get new processes or to get new products in the market.
When it comes to food technology and as a career, before we develop anything, we have to research. Then after researching, we develop. So we research the characteristics of a certain ingredient, how it works, the properties that it will bring upon the final end of a product, and how it will have impact on the final product in terms of shelf life and the stability. So as a career, it's a bit challenging because you have to think, but not thinking generally. You have to include science throughout your thinking. So it's quite a fun, interesting career for somebody who's not lazy to think. The first thing, you have to make sure you get the formulation so that you get the right quantities. There was a bit of challenge with the amount of water I placed in task 1. It was not enough to make the marinade to conform to the specification. Formulation, the overall formulation. Yeah.
I think she did fairly well. Remember, it's the first time that she get confronted with a formulation. So in general, I think she did well. She left out one material that she should have added. It's not a big deal, but in the real world, it is a big deal.
Shebala o ka re ke go kopanya fela ha go jwalo o tlhoka tsebo e kenelletseng ya science gore o kgone go bopa dijo hopola gore dilo tse o di bopang di lokela go amohelwa ke di-clients ka bongata hape seo se ama katlego ya company pele o ka qala mosebetsi tseba outcome ya hao bokgoni lerato le passion o nang le yona for mosebetsi e tla iponagatsa mosebetsing seo ke quality ha re gutla Mac o re tlisetsa iSpani queue ya beke ena dula le rona.
Can't knock my hustle cause it's way too strong. It's way too strong. And you have been waiting for way too long for this week's Funny Cube affair. Umbuzo wethu ye uhamba kanje. 2 mothers and 2 daughters went out to eat. Everyone ate 1 burger, yet 3 burgers were eaten in all. How is this possible? So bakhuluma abantu about 4 kwadliwa amabheka awu 3 kwasale one iyenzeka kanjani lento leyo ngithi angazi kodwa into engiyazi ukuthi uma uyazi impendulo uthi #iSpani with the capital Q bese ungena lapha ku social media yethu ufaka eyakho impendulo kodwa khona manje samsibona intokazi ishaye task yakhe esibini bafethu uyazi bawungena e-restaurant khona i-starter khona i-main course khona i-dessert so dig in.
Task 2, since on task 1 I weighed my ingredients and did everything. On task 2 I am cooking. Then after cooking I'll take the bricks test for quality purposes and quality control. Bricks is basically the measurement of sugar content we have in a solution. We use refractometer to measure the bricks. So if, for instance, if I get my results as 1 degree bricks, that simply means I have 1 gram of sugar in 100 grams of solution. So that's how we measure our sugar content from our marinades and stuff. But it's not only, we don't only measure bricks in sauces or anything. We can measure bricks of maybe fruit and anything that is food related.
What you get in varsity, depending on what you do, there is a part where they actually teach you how a mini factory looks like and what you do, but you get confronted with a whole different environment when you get to the real world. You are in varsity, you are with people who are at the same level as you in terms of thinking and all of that. You get in the real world, you get floor workers, you get people with no education, you get a whole lot of different people. So it's not the same. It is still my belief that there could be lots done in terms of academic to teach people more about the factory. In South Africa, I think at this stage, there is not a lot of awareness in terms of food technology. I think there is maybe a gray area between food technology and consumer science, which people use to do home economics to get into that field. It is my firm belief that there is a lot of opportunities because people will always eat. It is our responsibility as food technologists or food scientists in our profession to come up with new products, to come up with healthy products, to come up with products that are safe, and to come up with new technology, new equipment even, that can fast track everything that we do. So I think the future is really bright.
In each and every product, each and every ingredient play a certain role. So too much of anything can cause some can cause physical damages in the properties of a product. So that's why we have a formulation of which we draw down the specification saying maybe for a certain product you can exceed this much of sugar content. So after the preparation of whatever trial you'd be trialing, doing the measurement is just to verify that whatever you produce is within the specification. That was maybe the customer, that's what the customer requires or anything.
Hi Hilda, let's see how you're doing. Oh, okay. Just check your recipe. The you should have at least added some more water. Just check the last point. Don't worry, it's your first day, so you will get some of these things not right. Check your recipe, the last point. There's a bit of water that you need to add to get the marinade up to what it should be in terms of quantities. Okay? Quickly check that.
Okay, let me check.
Okay, good. So we now finished with the cooking of the marinade. What we're going to be looking at now is some of the functionality aspects of the sauce as well as the quality. So I need you to use this refractometer to determine the sweetness of the marinade.
Okay.
Are you familiar with this?
Yes, I am.
From where?
From tertiary.
Okay, good. So you've seen it, you know how it works. Can you quickly just determine the concentration of this?
Okay.
Okay. Then when you're done, just record the results and then you give me feedback on that. Okay, good. So what are you getting?
I got 50 breaks.
Okay, let me see. Good, that's the right result. Okay. What was good was she was familiar with the instrument. It was one of the basic things that I would have expected that she knows from her tertiary education. So she was familiar with that, she knew how it worked, and she did that very well. I myself verified the results and they were correct.
Sena re se bonang monana se botlhokwa. Step sengwe le sengwe se a se latelang o lokela go se ela tlhoko gobane se bapala karolo e kgolo go product ya hae. Hilda o lokela go ithuta seo. Ha o le food technologist o lokela go ba accurate, o lokela go latela tsela le sengwe se o se sebedisang ka hare ga dijo tsa hao. Mahaslas gore o atlehe kareng ya hao ha se go tlhatlhoga fela empa go mastera selo se o se etsang. Ha re khutla Meg o re tlisetsa karabo ya iSpani Q, Hilda yena o fumana feedback ka product ya hae.
Ngithi ake sikelele ukuphanga ngokuphangisa bafethu simeni kancane ngaphambi sobonisa intokazi iqhuba kanjani, and let me give you food for thought bafethu kwiSpani Q set sakule viki. Umbuzo wethu uhamba kanje: 2 mothers and 2 daughters went out to eat. Everyone ate 1 burger, yet 3 burgers were eaten in all bafethu. How is this possible? You send us your tweets or even send us an Instagram picture of the answer if you are creative. Kodwa khona manje sami sobona ukuthi intokazi iqhuba kanjani. Ngithi how do you like your ribs? Super hot or mild? Let's check it out.
Hello.
These are the samples that I've prepared.
Yeah.
Please taste them. You'll tell me the results.
Okay, thank you. Let's we're going to start with the visual.
When it comes to food technology, we monitor each and every parameter that is throughout processing of food product. So temperature is one of the important parameter that we need to maintain through it all out, because it plays a role in terms of microorganisms that can be exposed to that certain kind of a product. There are different microorganisms that grow in different levels of temperatures. They are called loving, hot, high temperature loving, and the middle ones. So it is important to save the product while it's still on high temperature because it's few microorganisms that can survive under high temperature. That's why during processing in industry, like in the floor, mostly the product is baked at a temperature higher than 72 degrees Celsius. And yeah, so during the sensory evaluation, the challenges that I faced is the product was placed on display for too long, so it was a bit cold before it was tasted, of which it's not a proper way of doing it.
It's not bad, but there's something missing. A bit powdery. Do you think it's not cooked enough? Have you tasted it yourself?
No, I don't.
You did? Okay. You know, while we're busy with development, you should always taste while you're busy. Yeah, it's very important. In terms of making a mistake during development, it's not a big deal. It is a big deal during a development stage because it's a waste of time. Actually, it's a waste of resources in general. The ingredients that we've used, the time, the fact that depending on where it's made, production could have been stopped to do that trial. So in that fashion, yes. But it's not a big deal because we're still in development. If it fails, so what? We go back to the drawing board. We relook at what could have gone wrong, how we can improve it. So we always get the relevant people together. We look at the outcome and we look at how going forward we can improve it. And then we go back and redo it. So what do you think from a development point?
I think it's a very good start, but out of my opinion, I would like to see more visual and a stronger flavor coming through.
Okay, noted.
You, Shari?
Yeah, I just think it was a bit weak. I'm not sure if it's really about the formulation, but also to just be more attention to detail, because remember we missed the water at the end. When you had to add the water while you were making it, so that also could have contributed. But just make sure that you look at the formulation to detail and you get that. But I think the flavor itself was a bit weak, and like Madeleine say, maybe to get it a bit more stronger, but we will look at the formulation and maybe we can try
Give some advice. But remember with development, it's trial and error, so don't
and it's
now
your
stop.
first time.
It's your first time, so I think it's a good start.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, good. Anything you want to ask?
No, thank you, I'm fine.
All right, good. I think overall she did well, being a first task. It's more for us. There's a whole lot of things that we look for in a candidate. You're not really expecting someone to know everything when they get here, but you want someone with a good attitude. You want someone who listens. You want someone who's got a will to do things, and you want someone who's a bit sharp. So that is very important for us as a business, and I think she's done well in that.
Yes, I did try the ribs if you're wondering. Khali. Kodwa mase isikhathi ukuthi nginikeze impendulo lapha na ku Spani Cube bafethu. Umbuzo wethu buhamba kanje. 2 mothers and 2 daughters went out to eat. Everyone ate 1 burger, yet 3 burgers were eaten in all. How is this possible? Okay, let me explain it. The other one was the grandmother, who is the mother to the mother. The other one was the mother, which is the mother to the daughter. You see, so sikhuluma ngabantu abathathu lana. Ulapho ke umkirikishane. Khona manje bathi ubodla uyishiyele bafethu asine khefini, nawe ke uyolanda owakho umphako.
afternoon, Hilda.
Afternoon.
Good to see you again.
Thank you.
You obviously haven't hopefully scared you off.
No, not really.
It was not too much of an ordeal.
Nothing I couldn't handle.
No, that's great to hear. While you were performing your tasks, your 3 tasks today, the creation, the source creation, what was the highlights? What were your whole experiences today?
Well, for the first task, for replacing the ingredients, replacing ingredient A with ingredient B, it was a bit challenging because I had to keep the quality of the sauce as the existing one. It should have the same characteristic, whereas the formulation was a bit adjusted. So that I found it as a challenge in terms of making it to be the very same as ingredient A, which we changed the formulation. So that was a bit challenge.
Would you see yourself enjoying doing this type of function, this type of job for extended period of time, for quite a few years?
Yes, well, in terms of the test that I was given under food discipline, they fall under research and development. So in research and development, one gets to engage in innovative things. So I see it as a platform for me, for growth as an individual, yeah.
So it'll definitely advance your career?
Yes.
Okay, no, that's great. I've got quite a good, nice report back on your performance, on your 3 tasks. Seems that you measured up to the task, you rose to the occasion. Well done.
Thank you.
Really very nice, good, nice beginning.
Thank you.
We hope that this is the beginning of a long relationship where you can grow with us. You know, we like to believe that one's never too old to learn. Always you have a good mentor. Always, life's a long journey, but no matter how old you are, young or old, it's always to grow. To give you just a small little example, what potential you have in this company. I have a young lady who many years ago I used to fill up at a certain service station. She was always very polite. And I once said to her, Catherine, how come are you working as a petrol attendant? It's very much a man's world. What is a lady, well-spoken lady like yourself working in this position? To which she replied that she'd worked in an admin position for attorneys. She got retrenched and she realized she had to find employment. And the employment she could find was a petrol attendant. That lady today manages one of my factory shops. I gave her opportunity. She was living in a little room, back room somewhere with her child. Today she has a house, she has a husband, she has a car, and she's risen to the occasion. Now that's the kind of idea where we feel we as a company want people to go. We want you to improve your life and at the same time provide a very good service to us. It's not just a case of just a job. It must be something where you can really rise above, and that's what she's done. So we hope that's an example to you, and welcome to the BRM family.
Thank you.
We have a lot of young people here. We have roughly 250 people working in this organization, and we hope you can grow and in turn become a mentor to many others.
Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you.
Wow, my day was very exciting. I got the job and I'm very excited. I thank God for everything and thank my family and everyone who has been throughout all my years of studies, throughout my academical year. Though it wasn't easy, but it was possible. If it was possible for me, it means it can be possible for you. On that note, press up, push up, panda.
Well done, Hilda. Go fumana feedback ha se go beya fatshe empa go go aha. Ha fela we amohela ka boikokobetso o tla fumana molemo ho yona. Potso ya rona ya beke ena e tswa ko Senzile. A re yena o na le diploma ya journalism le media studies o ntse a batlana le di-internship. Sentile, se nka go eletsang sona ko gore o fumane di-volunteering ko di-local newspaper. Hai fela o tla fumana experience empa o tla ikopanya le batho ba e leng gore ba ka kgona go kopanya le ba bang ba lefapha la hao. Di-internships di a hlokahala and hape di mmalwa. Tsena ke tse ding tsa di-website tse o ka di checkang go thusa go ifumana. Hai ka ba hona le ho sa o fumanang, hopola o checkela Facebook kapa website ya rona. Romelang tsa lona dipotso.
Ya sesifile manje suthi kushayina imilomo njengoba sithi halala kuyo uHilda bafethu oshayina ngathi le gloss bayigqobisa phezulu kwama-ribs doda ngithi nawe lapha ekhaya ungayenza ke into yenze intokazi uma nje ungayenza ukhasila ukudla kwakho kwempilo okudla ekseni ntambama nasebusuku bafethu from yimina umfana kaMtambo ngidonsa zonke intambo sengiphuma kanje uyahlangana nathi ku bafethu our social media YouTube and also on Instagram or you can catch us on our website but until next week simphathele olumnandi ngithi don't look down, look up and stay up so you can smell the ribs.